Welcome Learning Lab mentors to the training session, Tracking. In the previous training, we discussed how to help your students stay on pace for a timely completion. In this training, we will discuss how to effectively track their progress. Due to the uniqueness of every lab, some options that I present will work better than others for you and your students. As a team, the Blended Learning Specialist, the FLVS instructor, and the Learning Lab mentors work together to coach students to a successful completion. As you coach your students, you will want to track to make sure they are working at the expected pace. In this session, we will cover 3 specific tasks that will help you monitor weekly progress: the VSA Student Detail Report, the facilitator-created spreadsheet, and the weekly student check-in. You may want to utilize a combination of the strategies suggested in this session. Tracking strategy number 1. Monitor student progress weekly with a VSA report. If you have a lab that has a large number of students taking the same course, then you can request that the instructor email you a weekly update of progress. Most FLVS instructors send these out on Mondays. If you have a lab that has many courses, but you would like a spreadsheet of student progress, you can pull a student details report in VSA. To do this, you will need to have a VSA login. If you don't have a login, please notify your Blended Learning Specialist. They would be more than happy to get your account set up. There are several steps to pulling a report. For details on how to pull a student details report in VSA, please refer to the facilitator guide that was included in your welcome packet. Whether you get your VSA report from the teacher or you pull it yourself every week, it is a great tool. I highly recommend that you make it part of your weekly practices. Tracking strategy number 2. The facilitator-created spreadsheet of student progress. Sometimes pulling a data sheet weekly isn't enough. If you really want to be on top of student progress, try this next strategy. Create a spreadsheet on your computer. Each column will represent a weekly check-in. In the column, include the percentage complete. Students should show a 5 to 7% increase weekly. If you like, you can also add the student grade. In addition, you can have a note to yourself at the top of each column as a reminder of what the minimum percentages complete for that week should be to finish on time. Every week after, fill in each student's percentage complete. For a more hands-on approach, print out the spreadsheet and put it on a clipboard. Then write in the percentages each week. This is a terrific way for you to track your students' progress. It can also be a great overview of student progress throughout the semester. Not to mention, the spreadsheet can be used as a reference when speaking to administrators, counselors, or parents about student performance. If you need help setting up a spreadsheet or accessing the VSA Student Details Report, contact your Blended Learning Specialist for assistance. Strategy number 3, the Student Weekly Check-In. Take it to the next level with this strategy, the Student Check-In. By checking in with each student weekly on their progress, you are really sending a message to them. Pace matters. It takes a little more time, but is well worth the benefits. I have 2 possible strategies for you to consider to accomplish this task. Call each student up to your desk and discuss their weekly progress with them. Let them know their pace status. Are they behind, on track, or ahead of pace? Also, discuss their progress for last week. At this time, you can give them a goal for the upcoming week. If you like to get up and move around, this next strategy is perfect for you. Walk around the room and have each student pull up their gradebook. Write down the percentage complete on your spreadsheet. Then briefly conference with each student. Discuss their pace and the weekly expectation. If the student is behind, you may want to give them a goal for the next check-in. Monday or Friday is usually a good time for a weekly check-in. As you can see, you may want to use a combination of these strategies. For the best success, just make sure that you access weekly progress data and check in with the student about their progress. Also, be sure to lay out clear weekly expectations in your check-in. So let's do a quick review. Today we covered strategies for tracking. First, pull weekly progress data using your own FLVS account or request one from the instructor. Be sure to track progress on a spreadsheet to get the full picture of each student's progress throughout the semester. Lastly, check in with each student weekly so you can give them support and encouragement. Setting up students with a game plan to follow and monitoring their weekly progress will lead to many successful completions. Need more strategies to promote successful completions in your lab? Please view our training session entitled Motivate and Celebrate. This and other training sessions can be found at our YouTube channel. Titles include Getting Your Lab Started, Best Practices for Pacing, Best Practices for Tracking, Motivate and Celebrate, and How to Join the Blended Learning Community. If you have questions or need assistance, please reach out to your blended learning specialist at blc@flvs.net. Wishing you and your lab students great success and many happy completions.